Hi, everybody. So, I got a story for you. This is actually a couple days old now, but it's still pretty good. Story goes like this. Obama increased the money for the U.S. military, where the U.S. soldiers start to get more money. Yeah, I know, it's probably not by much anyways. But with the trillions we've spent, each one of us could have a mansion and everything else, and these guys are kind of just sitting around doing nothing. So, it's kind of sad that it's going to be like 2% or something like that. So, Republicans are silent as President Obama gives military soldiers their biggest raise in 5 years. The salaries of each soldier, when I say soldier, I believe I'm referring to airmen, Marines, Navy, Army, and Coast Guard, and everybody else. It just says soldier. That's the terms that they want to use. Their salaries will be raised by 1.3%, while all other federal employees receive a 1% raise. The pay increase for the military is especially significant given that military pay had increased only minimally in recent years, from being frozen in 2011 to 2013. The average salary of soldiers is about $40,000, a shamefully low figure that Republicans have done nothing to increase despite their own situation and everything else. Now, I don't know who this affects. I don't know if this is only for persons who have multiple deployments, or if this is for everyone who signs their name or becomes an officer. Indeed, President Obama and Democrats in general are endlessly criticized as weak by Republicans who would apparently prefer other things. But basically, Republicans are confused with supporting for meaningless wars and massive civilian support and everything else. And basically, this 1.3% raise was supposedly done by congressional Democrats, which originally proposed a 3.8% raise for the soldiers and other federal workers. But the bill was shot down by Republicans in the House, and it took significant effort to get these right-wing obstructionists to agree. You get the idea. And I don't mean to sideline this, folks, but I don't really think that 1.3% is a lot. But if you really think about everything and what it is and what it isn't, you have to kind of come to the conclusion that that's a lot if you put in numbers. I mean, 100 is what you're making, so 1.3 is 30% more. Well, that is a lot, folks. I mean, imagine, you're 40 becoming 44 overnight or whatever it is. That seems to be a lot, and, what the way taxes are on the military and stuff, folks, that most of that money is theirs to do with what they want. So, you got a cousin, nephew, uncle, aunt that's in the military, there's a reason they're spending a little bit more. I have a nephew in the military. He's in the Army. I've talked about him before. And basically, he is sitting there, and, him and his wife and new daughter are making it, and he's thinking about getting out, and everybody's kind of like, getting out to do what? You really want to lose a third of your income plus for, paying for everything going on? We're like, that's not smart. He's in the States. He's not going back to war anytime soon. He did his time. He's already been told, they won't ask him to do any more, supposedly. He had a rough time when he was over there. Well, everybody has a rough time, I imagine. But he did his time. He was over in Afghanistan. And he's ready to convert to civilian life. But, everybody says, you don't really know what you're doing until he gets out. And then he has to deal with all the civilian aspects, which is, clusterfucked. Pardon my language. And he would probably, I think he has his RN, I think. Which is what I would have had if the military would have allowed me, everything else. At some point or another, I'll just own a bunch of children's hospitals. And then, basically just genetically engineer stuff so that I can wipe out all childhood diseases, because that's kind of where I'm at. Basically own the property and manage it by proxy, and I'm good at that point. Just sitting around waiting for that check to come. That's all I'm waiting for. Waiting for all this junk to go away and get all this Obama drama out of the way to where I can go live my life and be happy. I know I can't tell. One of these days, people, I'll be able to tell you everything going on in my life, and you'll be like, holy crap, that's a clusterfuck. Yep, pretty much. People say something and they believe. Amen to the contrary. No, okay. So, thank you.